Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adilia Dwi Rahmawati. My student number is A3202000159, and right now I want to tell you a story about Prophet Musa. Prophet Musa was very patient and determined to face Pharaoh's injustice. This trait made him into the category of Prophet and Rasul Ulul Azmi. The King Pharaoh was known as a leader who arbitrarily oppressed his inhabitants, was arrogant, liked to enslave his inhabitants and divide his inhabitants, and employ his inhabitants by forced labor. One time, the King Pharaoh had a dream that a fire came from Baitul Maqdis that burned the Egypt, except the houses of the children of Israel. As the result of his dream, the King Pharaoh gathered the fortune teller to ask about the meaning of his dream. The fortune teller interpreted the dream that a baby boy would be born from descendants of children of Israel, would destroy the population of Egypt. Hearing this, the King Pharaoh was very scared. Finally, he ordered that if there was a baby boy born among the children of Israel to be killed immediately. And Musa was born at the time the order to kill baby boy was taking place. Her mother, who afraid for the child's safety, chose to stay away and find a safe place from reach of the Pharaoh army. Baby Musa, who was in the chest, was finally carried away from the current of the Nile and carried to Pharaoh's palace, and then found Pharaoh's wife named Asiya. She really wanted to take care of and look after the baby boy by asking permission from her husband. Hearing his wife's request, the King Pharaoh was agreeing not to kill the baby boy and adopt him as a child. Asiya, Pharaoh's wife, thought that baby Musa needed to breastfeed, so she brought several mothers to breastfeed the baby Musa. But unfortunately, the baby Musa refused the mother's milk. The birth mother of baby Musa, who learned the news about her son, immediately came to the palace and immediately breastfed her son. When he was an adult, Prophet Musa and his followers were very patient with the King Pharaoh for many years. In fact, the King Pharaoh was so proud that he was God. Prophet Musa and his followers finally decided to leave Egypt and go to Syria at the behest of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The King Pharaoh's anger grew even more when he heard this. So, he prepared an army to pursue the Prophet Musa and his followers. In this pursuit, the King Pharaoh's troop was almost caught up with Prophet Musa and his followers, even though they were covered in sea before them. They were filled with panic when they reached seafront. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala ordered Prophet Musa alayhi salam to hit his stick and rod in the middle of the ocean to continue the flight. After the sea was divided, Prophet Musa and his followers were able to cross the sea safely. After that, the Red Sea returned to its original state and drowned the King Pharaoh with his troops, who were still in the middle of the ocean. Prophet Musa alayhi salam and then received revelation in the form of Torah after being saved from the King Pharaoh and his troops, and after passing fast in the 30 days in the month of Zulqa'dah. Okay, I think that's all about the story of Prophet Musa. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.